In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Imperial Knights Battleforce. There have been a lot of new information about this box, and I wanted to talk about them specifically because I felt like I've shared some wrong information, partly because of GW, during my first impressions video. So let's talk about it in detail, talk about this particular Battleforce, and see whether it's worth it or not. If you enjoy the content, as always, check out the links down in the description below, check out the pinned comment for the playlist, and join us over on Discord or follow me on Twitch and so on if you want to see additional content. Join us for a discussion or just support me via a membership, Patreon, or Ko-Fi. So what is the big deal with this particular box now that we know all the particular information about it? So the big deal was that on the first day, post announcing these battle forces, GW said that we are going to get all the bits that these kids have in this particular battle force. It means that you are going to have all 7 build options for your Questores, including named ones, and that you are going to have the option to choose between Armiger Helverins and Armiger Warglaves as compared to the Chainbreaker lands, which was the 2022 Battle Force, which forced you to take 2 Helverins and 2 Warglaves. Now, with the newest information that I have available, it is the fact that this particular Battle Force contains all the options for the Armigers, so you can technically run 4 Helverins and 4 Warglaves or whatever other combination you want. But the big Questores Knight is severely limited in its build options because you are missing an additional sprue. So you're not going to be able to build a Canis Rex or any of these variants. The only 2 variants you're going to be able to build is the Knight Errant and the Knight Paladin. And that is without any top-mounted weapons because these are also on the additional sprue. So War Gear obviously is free. That's why these top-mounted weapons are so important, because you're technically just missing out on bits and you're basically getting a gimped version of what would be the full kit if you were to buy it separately. What GW is trying to do here, quite obviously in my mind, is that they are trying to make you to buy this Battle Force just once instead of twice, and then they want to push you towards buying another Questores box separately so that you have then access to that upgrade sprue or that additional sprue, and that way you can build a Canis Rex and one of 5 other variants, for example. You are not going to have all the weapon options available even if you buy another separate one, but the options open way up if you buy another separate Questores Knight. So that is something that I really hate about this particular box, the way it was communicated and the way this particular box works, because all they are trying to do is push you away from the idea that you can save more money by just buying this Battle Force twice, go in, have a 2000 points army ready to go, and that is even something they talked about during the presentation. And that is just bad taste in my opinion. So overall, yeah, the way that was communicated and the way it all panned out is definitely weird, and I'm not a fan of it at all. This is probably also the part where I should say sorry myself, because I technically spread misinformation during my first impressions video. So if you took any of the information there in the comments and so on, sorry. I hope you watch this video to get the information, or you check out, I don't know, social media or something, because you need to realize one thing. If you're watching this particular video or any bigger channel that is concerned with Warhammer stuff, you're in a vast minority. Most people obviously just go into an LGS or Warhammer store, buy whatever they find cool, go home, assemble and paint it. Most of us watch these videos, want to be a little bit more informed, look at rules more specifically, being interested in kind of specific list building, new releases and so on, and really keep up with the hobby. A lot of other people, the vast majority, just want to go in there, build and buy something and have fun. And that is something that concerns you with this particular box, because they are going to maybe see the Canis Rex on the Warhammer store, see the Battle Force, see, okay, that is also in Knight Questores, is probably going to have all the options in there, and then possibly buy this Battle Force and be out of luck. And that is something that is a little bit annoying. Them differentiating these kids and just on a whim removing certain sprues from certain boxes for no apparent reason other than saving a few cents per box is really annoying. And it serves no other purpose than me sitting here and a lot of other YouTubers and people just reading this or watching this as saying, yeah, GW fucked this one up for no reason. They literally saved on 2 sprues, a few cents per box, and they are trying to get away with it without any kind of backlash or something. And that is super annoying. I think that they could have made it incredibly easy on themselves. Put all the sprues in this particular box, and I would be sitting here giving this box a 10 out of 10, because there's nothing I can criticize about this box, because at that point, you have all the build options. You buy 2 of these boxes, you get 2,000 points, and you can do whatever you want with it and have one of the cheapest 2,000 points forces there is. And you can still do that, but you're going to be severely limited in your options with your Knight Questores, because all you can bring is a Paladin or a Knight Errant. And if you like those 2 variants, you are still going to be able to buy this box twice, and it's going to be worth it. But it doesn't feel good to recommend this box anymore, and especially not, thinking about giving this box a 10 out of 10. With this kind of information, I hope you can make a little bit more of an informed purchasing decision. And if this kind of drove you away from buying this box, it's definitely understandable, because you're basically missing out on 5 build variants of this particular kit, which really sucks. And I can also understand why you wouldn't want to go out and buy a big knight separately in addition to the Battleforce, because the big knight is probably going to cost almost as much as the Battleforce. And it is something that is really damn annoying, especially considering that you want more armigers as well. So yeah, you're in a weird conundrum when it comes to starting a Knight Force from scratch with this particular box. So if we take a look at the list, as I said, you can build your armigers however you want, and you get the Paladin or the Knight Errant. And the upgrade path you have here from this particular list is you buy this Battleforce twice. That expands your list to 2,000 points almost exactly. All you need to do is basically pick an enhancement for your bigger knights and call it a day. Or you're going to go out of your way and buy, everything separately past this particular Battleforce. So what you would need to buy then would be more armigers, another Knight Questores for more options for your initial Battleforce Knight Questores, or you're going to go out and buy a Knight Questores and a Knight Dominus, which would also be an option. You would be running 3 big knights, which is honestly probably the worst option when it comes to rules. But most of you people, as I said in many videos, are playing casually anyway, so you shouldn't care about that. The Knight Dominus is an awesome looking model. The rules have always been a little bit weird for the Knight Dominus, weirdly enough, but if you like the model visually, definitely go for it. And that is basically as far as the upgrade path goes. You have the option between, do I buy this Battleforce twice, or do I buy it once, assemble it, play with it at 1,000 points, see how it goes, and then use the knights as basically support for my other Imperial faction, which is also a very viable way to look at this box. Or you go out of your way and then upgrade it with separate knight kits down the road and go the slow route, which is not bad at all, but it's annoying that you have to kind of consider it that way, because just buy 2 Battleforces is so much easier, because you're technically done with Imperial Knights at that point. You buy a Knight Dominus sometime down the road, and then you're going to have most, if not all, of the options available for this particular faction. Would have made things so much easier, but this way you have to really think and consider your options when it comes to assembling your 2,000 point knight army. And funnily enough, we are in a similarly weird situation when it comes to this particular savings table, because the Knight Questor, if you go on the Warhammer website, definitely costs £110. But this particular kit is the only one with the Knight Questores, and it includes the upgraded sprue for all 7 variants of this particular kit. You obviously are not getting that in the Battleforce, and I have no way to deduct pounds or money or percents that would be accurate for that, because everyone's going to value that differently. If you are someone who initially looked at knights and said, I want to run a Paladin and an Errant anyway, the value is not going to change too much. All you're going to be missing out are top-mounted weapons, rocket launchers, and so on, and that's that. The value is still going to be 38-39%. But if you're someone who wanted to run a Canis Rex, wanted to run something else entirely as far as the loadout goes, this box is going to lose significant value. How much? That's up to you. Is it going to be 3%, 5%, 10% maybe? Who knows? At that point, you need to evaluate that yourself, and at that point, this savings table is worthless. And it is something that, usually is a very easy way to explain to people, hey, this box is worth it. You're saving 40%. It's easy to understand. You're saving a lot of money. If you like the faction, you should pick this box up because you're saving a lot of money and it's fine. But at this point, not that easy, not as clear cut as I wanted it to be. And you definitely have to think about which variant you want to build. Definitely consider going on New Recruit or something, build a list, check out the different loadouts and weapon options you have available, and then kind of consider your options from the upgrade path earlier in the video. So then finally, what do I think about this box? Would I give it a 10 out of 10 if it would have included all the different weapon options and sprues? Absolutely. Does it include all of them? No. And that makes it super annoying for new buyers. It makes it a maybe even slightly deceptive box, I would say. I don't want to say that it's super bad or anything, but it's definitely questionable to just randomly remove a sprue that is in every other box that you would buy separately. And yeah, I would definitely rate it below the Dark Angels box. That's for damn certain. I would give it at max a 7 out of 10 at this point, and that's probably the rating I'm going to go with it because it's still a good box. You're still getting a 1000 points army out of the box. You can still buy it twice with severe caveats that you definitely need to think about, and have a 2000 points army, so it's still decent. Definitely not a scam or anything, but man, could have been a lot better and a lot more reliable of a box that is just great for everyone who wants to start a faction and great for everyone who just has maybe one big night or something. And it's a little bit of an annoyance, but yeah, you as the buyer basically, or as the customer, have to consider what kind of loadouts you want to go with and then buy accordingly. If you have any specific questions as far as loadouts go, as far as the sprue goes, and so on, definitely drop them down in the comments below, and I am going to try my best to help you out with that, because going over that in the video, like which variants lock out which other variants if you buy this Battleforce and a separate kit, would be way too much to go over. So yeah, definitely ask your questions in the comments. Other than that, if you have your own thoughts on this particular box, definitely share them as well. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video, in the next Battleforce review. And yeah, take care.